Okay, I'm not going to leave you hanging till the end of this video for the verdict. The UFQ A28 is not a Bose A20 killer. The Bose is the better headset, period. But how much better is it? And is it worth paying 5 times the cost of the UFQ for the Bose? Let's find out. I've already done an in-depth long-term use review of the UFQ A28, which is linked up here in the top right-hand corner of the screen now, if you want to go check that out. I've also placed links to both these headsets below in the description of this video. It is affiliate links, so upon successful sale, I will get a small kickback at no additional cost to you. The UFQ currently goes for $270 on Amazon. The Bose seems to be unavailable on Amazon at the time of recording, but goes for around $1,100 US. So for the first comparison, we look at comfort. The UFQ is very comfortable. A lot more comfortable than a lot of cheap headsets I've used before. It fits the shape of my head perfectly. It doesn't feel overly heavy, but it does feel like I have an aviation headset on my head. The longest non-stop flight I've done with the UFQ is 4 hours, although it totaled up to be more than 6 hours of flying in a single day. And I can't say that it ever got the least bit uncomfortable. The Bose feels even more comfortable on my head than the UFQ. Not much, but enough to be noticeable. It does feel less clunky. More like I have music headphones on my head than a big aviation headset. It feels a bit lighter, even though it's only 50 grams lighter than the UFQ. The Bose also fits the shape of my head perfectly, although the mic does seem off to one side a bit, though I'm sure it can be adjusted. I'm confident you can fly with this headset all day long without it getting uncomfortable. Feeling the ear cup padding with my fingers, they both feel very similar, though on the Bose it's slightly softer but is also thinner than on the UFQ. The material itself feels identical. The second comparison is features. Here the Bose wins by far. It's got volume control on the A&R unit itself, which makes it feel less clunky than the volume control knobs on the ear cups of the UFQ. The Bose has Bluetooth, which means you can listen to music as well as take phone calls while flying. With the UFQ, you can also listen to music using an audio cable, but no phone calls though. Another feature I like is the auto power off on the Bose's A&R. The UFQ doesn't have it, so when you forget to turn it off, and you will, then it runs down the batteries. It does seem to use very little battery power when not in use though, as I've once forgotten to turn it off overnight, and by the next morning the batteries were still good. One design feature I really like on the Bose is the folding headband, which means it uses less space when not in use and thus has a smaller carry bag. Another great design feature is the quick adjusting headband on the Bose. I need to adjust my headset size all the time, as I sometimes fly with a bump cap and sometimes without it. With the UFQ, this means I need to fiddle with adjusting screws while trying to adjust the size, which gets somewhat annoying. The third comparison is how well it performs at its primary function, noise reduction. Something I'd like to clear up right off the bat is I sometimes hear people say that the Bose's noise cancelling is so good that you can't even hear the engine running at all. No, that isn't true.
But it's not true.
At least not for the airplane I fly in. Let's go fly and listen to the real world difference in noise reduction between these two headsets. To record the sound, I placed a mic in my ear cup and recorded to my smartphone.
Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That's what it sounds like with my glasses on. That's what it sounds like with them off. What's the difference, eh? Right, Fox traffic in Juliet Charlie on the next left downwind, runway 29 on the gravel, full stop landing. Just swapping headsets quickly. ANR on. Okay, first impressions. It's definitely quieter than the UFQ. By a lot. That is very awesome. Definitely it's, yeah, so this is the first time I'm having it on my head. Gotta say, I think I like it. Park traffic in the Juliet Charlie, rolling runway 29. We'll be staying in the circuit. Okay. So you can definitely still hear the engine, but it's definitely quieter. I would like to hear what it sounds like side by side with the UFQ, and I'll play that to you now. Let's see what it sounds like when I take off my glasses. Honestly, it does sound a bit quieter. You can definitely feel the difference, or hear the difference rather, without the glasses, with great spaces for sound to come in. Park traffic in Juliet Charlie on the left, downwind runway 29 on the gravel, full stop landing.
With that, you can make up your own mind on how big the difference on noise reduction is between these two headsets. With ANR off, the passive noise reduction on these headsets are actually very similar, probably within a decibel or two of each other. With ANR off, the UFQ is just a tad quieter than the Bose, which isn't surprising since the UFQ is built like a passive noise reduction headset and the Bose not. Not that I can think of a reason why you would want to use either of these headsets with ANR off, as that would completely defeat the purpose of these headsets. But if the batteries run out mid-flight on either of these headsets, you will probably be okay, unless you fly an exceptionally loud aircraft. So, concluding thoughts. Overall, I would definitely say the Bose is worth at least twice the cost of the UFQ, maybe even 3 times. But 5 times the cost? I don't think it is. Thus, in terms of value for money, I have to give it to the UFQ. Unless the cost of the Bose isn't a problem and you want the best of the best, then the Bose is exactly what you need. So I hope that gives you an idea on how these two headsets, the best ANR on the market and one of the most affordable ANRs on the market, stacks up against each other. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.